Boys, last lesson we looked at the equation of a circle, and today we're looking at the equation of a semicircle and what that graph looks like on the number plane. So we can see here that was our form for the equation of a circle that was based at the center being on the origin. And so for a semicircle, we can sort of see how we get the formula for the semicircle by rearranging the equation of a circle. So making y the subject here, we subtract x squared off both sides, so we get y squared equals r squared minus x squared. And then we square root both sides, and so we get the square root of plus or minus the square root of r squared minus x squared. And so we got two functions here. We've got a positive function, and one with a positive at the front and one with a negative at the bottom. So you can see those two functions below graphically. So the positive version here and the negative version there. The positive is above the semicircle, above the x-axis, because all the values for y are positive, and the equation with the negative is below the x-axis. So you need to know that form for a semicircle. So when you see that square root function pop up, you're not freaked out. You know that it's an equation for a semicircle. So the equation for a semicircle above the x-axis with center 0, 0 is y equals the square root of r squared minus x squared. And the equation for a semicircle below the x-axis with center 0, 0 and radius r is y equals minus the square root of r squared minus x squared. So if we look at this first example here, it says sketch the graph of each function and state the domain and range. Okay, so straight away looking at this equation, we know it's a semicircle, and in front of that square root, it's a positive, and so that means it's going to be above the axis. And this guy in here, that tells us that the radius squared is equal to 9, so the radius has got to be 3. So if I was going to draw this, then I know the radius is going to be 3, and so the semicircle will be something like that, where the domain is at -3 and including that up to 3, and the range is from 0 and including 0 up into 3. One more example. Y equals minus the square root of 4 minus x squared. From that minus, that tells us it's going to be below. And this guy here tells us that r squared equals 4, so the radius equals 2. So this is going to be the semicircle that's below the axis. And it's going to go to 2, minus 2, minus 2, and it'll look something like that. So our domain would be minus 2 to 2, and our range, all the values for y, will be 0 to minus 2, or minus 2 up to 0 rather. Minus 2 up to 0. Fantastic. So that's semicircles. So there'll just be a couple more examples building on the exercise you did last time. Good luck.